this aching pain when you're away, like a burning ship that sets the sails to you. Fingertips, press my lips, make me sing that holy song the way you do. Holy Ghost inside, let it loose and lay it on. Only one that can save me now is you.
Draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn was soothing. Moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get three dimensions stuffed in a two. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a two-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of deer in the light, I left some weird spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a missing a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of the gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with a lotion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion. Reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush. Then a week goes by and it goes untouched. Then two, then three, then a month, and the rest of your life to beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards and unfeasible anxiety is brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy, aligning with the trials of the anti-Midas. Snap on the back lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would've made cowardly kings. They will chop you chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings.
Tonight.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Bengals going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Gott and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, our coverage kicks off with a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Fresh set of downs here. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
It's second down. Dalton looking into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Three yards to go here on second down.
Wide 20.
Dalton off play action. He's got time. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. And now the defense for Dallas.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. They continue to stay excited about his potential.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They look to throw on third with Dalton. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. So that means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Second down, Dalton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
We just saw an example of what we talk about all the time when we meet with coaches. They want that hidden yardage to come to the front when they throw the football. Throw it, catch it, and then pick up more yardage after the catch.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Wide 20.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive.
Ready, 3, zebra, zebra. Zebra, zebra, set, wide 20, wide 20.
And they'll go ground game here in the tailback. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Ready, blue 10, blue.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And that is incomplete here. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal.
Set, blue 10.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
They come out here in the eye.
Red 38, red 38.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go. Red 38.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Flex round. Flex round.
Back to throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10.
Come on!
They'll look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
380.
First and 10 for Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So the offense has it first and 10. They come up in an offset eye.
Set, blue 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Ready, blue 10. Blue 10. Set, wide 20. Wide 20.
Dalton sets up play action. And he's got his man on the out route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So here we go, first and 10 now. The play clock's running down. They run the counter now on first down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Second down, Dalton. Looking middle, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now the offense lining up first and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Blue 10. Blue 10. Zebra.
They'll need to get the play off quickly.
Zebra.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. They go play action here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And it's 3rd and short.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Another pistol look here. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. To throw now on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll set up a throw. Deep drop. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. And that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
that. Super toe.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Passing, it's Dalton, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go. What? 90.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Come on, let's go. What? Ohio. Ohio. Hut.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And tough starting field position here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Ready. Wide. 20.
The final act of the first half, Dalton. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Flex round.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough job to contain them.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Come on, let's go. Flex round.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And ready now for 2nd and 9.
Hey, blue 10. Blue 10.
Second down, Dalton. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
First and 10 for Dalton. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Dalton, first and 10. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Set, blue, 10.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Here's Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down.
Bang! Wide, 20.
Dalton sets up play action. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. And it's up and good. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Bang! Blue 10.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Looks like they wanted to stay in attack mode after breaking off that nice chunk on their first play. They decide to heave it downfield on this one.
Yeah, that first play, though, successful. Try number 2, unsuccessful. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And look out, I think he's going to go. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an
things
interception.
for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
To the left. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he's got Miller. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. And they're going to speed things up here. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Here's Dalton to throw for it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Let's go!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should
Here
have
we
made.
go, flex round!
Now a handoff as they run left side. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they're going to bring him down. Back across midfield at the 45. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They go play action here on first down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down.
While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Play action here with Dalton. Surveying the field. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Muscles him off. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Set 380.
Big fourth down here. It's Dalton. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Let's go. What? Ohio. Hut.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And a pretty good good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Second down now after the incompletion. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Second down now after the pass completion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Andy Dalton eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Hey, 380!
From midfield here, Dalton backing up. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes